All right, so if we were going to have a cup of coffee and we were going to talk about the heart of a leader, I definitely would want to bring up problem solving. When I think about problem solving in regards to our heart, the heart of a leader who desires to solve problems is really, it boils down to care. It's, hey, I care about the people who might be a problem in the organization or in my family, or I care about the problem going on because I care about the organization. There are times where I think we take care of problems through avoidance, but you and I both know the problems just don't go away. We just recently went on vacation, and when I returned, unfortunately, we have a problem. And here's the truth about problems: is they're embarrassing, and I think sometimes we just don't want to admit them because they're embarrassing that we need help. So we just try to avoid them. But many times we take scissors to our problems. Now, you and I both know the answer to this isn't scissors. My 6-year-old might think. But a lot of times we take problems like, oh, it looks better now. At least maybe from the road, my neighbors can't see my problems. And we just kind of start to clip away just to make things look better. But the truth about problem solving is we've really got to get to the root. Is why are these problems consistently happening in my own life, in our organization? So there's a book called The Oz Principle, and he talks about 4 steps really to the Yellow Brick Road in The Wizard of Oz. But in this book, there's 4 steps really to solving all problems. The first one is we've got to see it. Hey, there's an issue, right? Most of our team members can see the problems. We can see the problems. But really where it starts to change is the second step. And that's someone taking ownership and says, I don't like this problem. I want to make this problem go away. So they own that problem and say, hey, I'm going to be the reason this thing gets out of the organization or gets out of my life. And then the third thing is you sit down and you try to solve that problem. You come up with some solutions. You can do a fishbone diagram, which we'll talk about at a later moment. So you come up with some ideas. Some of them might work, some of them might not. But the fourth one is you do those ideas. You go out and try them. See it, own it, solve it, and do it. I want you to be a person and a leader who isn't okay with problems just being around, but your passion in your heart is to solve those problems. I want to end with this story. There's a story about a wise old man in a village. Every time there was a problem, they would come to this wise old man who lived on top of the mountain, and they would keep bringing him the same problems. One day, a woman came with a problem, and it was something that she'd already complained about. And the wise old man told her a joke, and the lady laughed. Well, then a few seconds later, he told the same joke again. She was a little confused, kind of chuckled. But then a few minutes later, he tells the same joke again. And at that point, she was just annoyed. And the wise old man said, "What, you can't laugh at the same joke, but yet you'll consistently cry about the same problem?" I thought that was very profound, as we oftentimes complain about the same problems over and over again. But the heart of a leader says, I care about the people that this problem is affecting, and I care about our organization. So the question today is, and I'm setting you up, what problems are you seeing that maybe you're just walking away from? Maybe they're too hard for you, or you think they're too hard, but it's time for you to take ownership of those. They might be embarrassing. They might be above your pay grade in your opinion. But are there problems you're seeing right now that maybe you can be a part of that solution? So then you guessed it. What's the next step to make that go away, to solve that problem, and to help be a part of the solution?